Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to Cocktails and Conversations with me, Deborah Babio. I know I've said this a few times, but this episode, guys, I'm beside myself. Like the person I have on the sofa today is a true icon, like icon status. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to speak because I'm gonna be just like staring at her and have my jaws open. I mean, she needs no introduction, but I'm gonna let her introduce herself to you. June, welcome.
Hi, Deborah.
I'm
How are
actually
you?
gagged that you're on this so far, June.
Of course, I couldn't say no to you.
We've got so much to discuss.
Bring it on. And
There's so much.
congratulations on all
Oh,
this. It looks wonderful.
thank
Love
you,
your
thank you for
setup.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, look at all
my
these great
God.
books. And I'm glad you got mine too.
Of course, it's an honor. But anyway, please introduce yourself to our audience.
Yes, of course. My name is June Sarpong. For many years, I was a television presenter. And now I have what they call a portfolio career where I speak, I advise, I write. I have my own publishing imprint, which is a lot of fun. And then actually, I'm next year I'll be launching a food brand, so that'll be a lot of fun. So,
Exclusive.
You heard it here first.
Yes. Well, welcome. We're gonna get straight into it, but before that, let me pour you a drink.
Please, a non-alcoholic one.
Not this is we do mocktails here. We do
Yeah,
mocktails
because you
here.
know I actually don't drink.
I just thought we'll do a little berry blast
Okay.
and see how we go for you.
Thank
and then
you.
think about what we're gonna cheers to.
Cheers.
What are
We're
we
going to
cheering
cheers
to?
to cocktails and conversation.
Oh, cheers.
And your continued success.
Amen. Ooh.
Nice.
I like it. A little zest. Anyway, I want to start right at the beginning.
Yeah.
What was little June like?
Oh my gosh. Little June was a very, very talkative.
Ooh.
No surprises there. Yeah, I was very, very talkative and very inquisitive, and one of those kids that always asked questions and was incredibly curious. And I think that, I suppose in some ways it must have been a bit annoying for the adults around me. But yeah, I just always was. I was always that kid that was why. I'd never just accepted do this. And in Africa, everything go to bed, do this, do that.
Literally,
like there is no why.
I used to call myself the black sheep of the family because I didn't listen.
Yeah,
I did not listen.
right?
I was always the one getting the cane, the cane to my.
Oh my gosh! I mean, the things.
Yeah. And what age are you when you think back to little June?
I think probably about 4, maybe around that age. I think sort of memories in terms of what I can remember. I can remember from that age up. Yeah, definitely. And we had a very social house. So we were all born in the UK, and then we went back to Ghana. And the idea was we were supposed to be raised in Ghana.
Right.
And then
how many of you?
4 of us, three of us to begin with, and then I have a little sister.
And where did you fall in the?
In the middle. Yeah. So. In the middle child. So we ended up back in Ghana, and so the lucky thing was we lived there at a time where all of my my mother comes from a very big family, so she herself has 4 siblings, but then her cousins, so basically there were 2 sisters, my grandmother and her sister, and they between them had, I think, 12 children, maybe more actually. Yeah, because
African families. I mean,
my grandmother's sister had 8, and then my grandmother had 5.
Wow.
So imagine, and most of them were girls from my grandmother's sister's side. So my mother is her only daughter, but her sister had primarily girls. And then a few.
And were you all close?
Boys. They were, because they were raised together.
Oh, of course.
So if you imagine, I had all these aunts and uncles. And so living there as a little kid, we had this massive sort of wider family network in Ghana. And our house was the house that always had the parties. And, it's funny now going back and looking at all those pictures. we had such a social house.
yeah.
And so I was always raised with that, the African parties. And, we love funerals as well. So I don't know how you love a funeral, but we do.
Every Saturday,
And,
they're getting dressed to go somewhere. Where are you going? Oh,
A
so and so
funeral.
and so. So and so's mother. They
They've never heard of them. They've never met them a day in their
literally,
lives. Yeah.
never, but they're going to the funeral.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my
so for
god.
sure.
And how
Talkative.
long? And how long were you in Ghana for?
I was in Ghana in the end. I think it was 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
And then we
Okay.
had to come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And how did you find that transition going? Because it wasn't that long. Some people go and they do like a good 10 years before they come back.
I still speak Tree as a result. We started speaking it there as children, and my mum made sure we kept it up when we came back. And I think when I moved back to the UK, in a way, it sort of made me become a chameleon, because I moved to a very diverse area. I moved to East London, so I was very lucky, very diverse area. But I was the only kid who had an accent like mine. And I think, when you are otherized, as it were, you figure out how to be a bit of a chameleon. So it just meant that I sort of figured out how to get along with people. But so that was the transition. And also the cold.
Oh my god.
To have come
the
from
cold.
tropical weather.
Literally, and you're like, there's like smoke coming out of your mouth. But I didn't know what that was.
Pre-global warming, when we actually had winters in the UK. And I would be in, and they would never, the kids, now these kids are sort of so mollycoddled. But back then, if it was cold and snow, you still had to play outside.
Oh, yeah.
I remember being sat outside in the snow crying. And my friends like, shut up, Jude. Oh, it's so cold. I've never liked cold weather.
Oh my god, same. I literally every winter I'm like in my scarf and layers and like me and my electric blanket like this. Like I can't. I need to be toasty.
Yeah,
it's just
I like heat.
crazy. And I guess you were saying you made friends easy because you were curious. How was school for you?
School was great.
Oh, you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I love school.
Really?
Why really?
I don't know. School's
No, I love school. Oh, I loved school.
What did you study? What was your?
At school, we everything.
Yeah.
But I mean,
And did you like? Did you like certain things?
I was good at sciences. I was very good at English.
Yes, of course.
And I was obviously good at public speaking and the performing arts side of things. But I, had a sort of very scientific brain, as well as a creative brain. But I was not good at maths. No. And that's still the case. So though they say you shouldn't sort of claim your limitations.
Maths. I know I never got maths, and some of the stuff we literally studied, I'm like, pi equals what now? In this day and age. You need to tell me about my taxes. That's what you need to be teaching me about. Not pi equals, because I don't know what pi equals now in my 40s. But I know the taxman's coming for me. So that's what they should be teaching these kids. Revise the curriculum, please, because half the stuff you're teaching them, they ain't gonna need. They need to know about investments and
and life.
And I feel like that needs to really, really change. But what did you take through to secondary school and university?
I didn't do university, so I did my A levels, and I.
How did your family?
They didn't like that at all.
I know, because I got the. What do you mean you want to be a designer?
Yeah,
what does that mean?
What is that nonsense?
What does that mean? Is that going to put food on the table?
It was a big, big deal. I had all of the.
And did your other siblings were academic? Because that's what it was for me. The other ones were academic. So when I came and said this to them, they're like, "What are you doing?"
No, they weren't actually. But it's funnily, all my cousins are, but we weren't. We were all
creatives.
Yeah, we were all creative for some weird reason, actually. And I think of my parents. And my dad was an accountant originally. He's very brilliant with numbers. And my mother was a nurse. But I don't know why, but we were all actually, it's a good question. I don't know why, but we all were.
Yeah, because they kind of mold you from a young time. You have to do this, you have to do that, and then you become.
The expectation was that I would go to university, but I didn't. And I luckily enough got a job.
Yeah.
Early.
And
enough.
were you decisive that you weren't going to go, or were you going to
Yeah.
go and then you're like, actually, I
No,
got the job?
I mean, I was gonna go, but I knew as soon what I wanted to do was presenting, and I got a job at KISS
Yes,
at the age of 17, 18 or whatever it was after my A levels, and I was like, people go to university to do what
the job you've already
yeah,
got. So why am I
like,
going to now spend money? Because now, they
Yeah,
didn't,
and
parents have to spend, you weren't going to get a grant. It was like literally home. So why am I going to
Deborah,
spend all of that?
I'm
And then I've
telling
got the
you,
job that's
yeah,
paying me.
pay me. And you know what was so funny? My parents, well, my mum called this sort of big family meeting, and we had all
Oh,
of the
God, the family
uncles and aunties,
meeting.
people flying in from Ghana,
The family
telling me I was
meeting.
bringing shame on the
Oh,
family, all of
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Anyway, thank God I somehow sort of stood my ground. I don't even know where I got the confidence
I was going to
to.
say, how did you? Because
I,
I went through some beats
you-
before.
looking back
Yeah.
now, I'm like, how was I?
Yeah,
Like,
able to.
I don't even know if I'm that
Was your parents
forthright now.
strict?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
The
how did you
strictest.
survive?
I don't know. I actually don't know, Debs. Like now I look back, I'm like, would I even be that forthright
Yeah.
now? But I just knew that you know what it was? It was because at KISS, I was getting the chance to work around people that I admired, that I looked up to, who were doing something that I really wanted to do. And being around them made me see that it was possible for me.
Oh,
And so I thought,
absolutely.
actually, no, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
No matter what anybody
Yeah.
says.
Yeah.
And I did.
That defiance, I love it.
Yeah, I did. And you know, it worked out.
It,
Now they all
it
take
really,
the credit.
oh,
But
literally, my father acknowledged that I do creative once my name was in Vogue. It's like,
yeah.
oh, my daughter's in
my
Vogue.
daughter's Vogue. Do you know?
Before, it was like, you didn't know what I was doing, what it was. And how did the KISS opportunity come about? For anyone
Work
listening who's trying to,
experience, yeah. So,
oh my
you know,
God,
which
they
is
don't do work experience anymore. People need to bring
no,
back work experience
yeah.
because it's
Well,
really shutting doors on people.
well, if you're from a low income
Yeah,
background,
absolutely,
yeah. You know,
absolutely.
I was very lucky in that KISS had a work experience program with local state schools because, you know, my school that I went to in East London, a school called Connaught School for Girls, which is actually a great school that has created a lot of amazing talent. I was very lucky that we had. It was an interesting time in Walthamstow's history, which is
Oh
where
my
I'm
God, I
from.
love Walthamstow.
Love Walthamstow.
I had to be
Best.
from Walthamstow, but I literally love it.
Oh,
It
but
was,
you loved it.
it's,
Isn't it
oh
the
my God, I
best?
will literally go back, but the house prices are crazy
Yeah,
right
they've
now.
gone crazy.
Like
They've
crazy,
been crazy for a while.
Yeah, yeah.
But
yeah.
anyway, it wasn't crazy back then.
Yeah, no one wanted to
so,
go,
you know,
June.
wanted
I was
to-
going to the markets trying to get my fabrics and stuff
Yeah.
but no, they were like, Walthamstow, why get to
But
Walthamstow?
we
But
knew.
now,
I love that place. Before it was Notting Hill.
yeah,
But
right?
anyway, so Walthamstow. So
Before the village, oh my God, they've got a
The
place
village
called
was
the
always
village.
there.
Really?
Oh yeah, the village was.
Oh,
The
I only
village
knew the
was
market.
always the trendy bit.
Oh,
Always, that was
I only
always
knew the
there.
market.
And then now most of it's become
Yeah,
the village.
yeah,
Whereas
yeah,
before
yeah.
the village was where all the rich people
Yeah,
lived.
yeah.
And then we all lived
Yeah.
around.
We were
And
near the
now,
market, yeah.
Now
Now
everything
they've-
is
yeah,
the village.
exactly.
But so the interesting thing about Walthamstow was at the time it was becoming gentrified, but you had a lot of the sort of original community, white working class community still there. And then you had a lot of immigrant families like mine. And then you had this sort of new wave of middle class, upper middle class people moving into the area. And a lot of them were kind of the more liberal do-gooder types that didn't want to send their kids to private school.
Yeah.
So they sent their kids to the good local state schools, which went, my school had a fantastic PTA. And that's how we had the connection to KISS FM.
Right.
And like I say, you know, going to KISS and getting that work experience changed my life. I got it at 16 and I would go back in the holidays. And then, they offered me a job.
Amazing. And what was that experience like going like to KISS and then coming back to school and just telling your friends that you
know
like
what?
seen all these celebrities and just
yeah,
really
life
interacting with
is-
people that they see on the TV
I
and you're
know.
literally next to them? How incredible.
Life is really funny, Debs, you know, and sometimes you kind of have to go with the rhythm of your life, even, you know, when you go through sort of your highs, your lows, whatever, is that rhythm of your life that, you know, somehow it all figures itself out. So there were two spots. There was KISS FM spot and there was a work experience spot at the London School of Contemporary Dance.
Oh.
And myself and another girl who was a friend of mine at the time, we both chose
The dance
two options.
Right.
But we both had London School of Contemporary Dance as our number one.
Right.
And we had to pull our names out of a hat.
What?
And she got London School of Contemporary Dance,
and
you got KISS. Can you imagine how different my life would have been?
No
it's
way.
Wild. It's wild.
Just pulling your name out of a hat.
Because we both had the same 1 and 2.
So who told you to put, who made that decision?
Teachers.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So your future was basically
Yeah. So the angels, ancestors, whatever you want to call it, they were in there. And and so I got.
But also if you did do the hour, you would have been an award-winning dancer by now. I know.
No.
That. Yes, you would.
No, I would not.
The person you are.
I wouldn't, because
you would.
she had been dancing all her life. And I would have been starting at 15 or whatever.
No.
Then again, Darcy, what's her face, started at
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's a prodigy. I'm not.
But you would have been. I believe you would have been.
Anyway,
I believe you would have been.
Thank God I got KISS. It's all I'm talking I can do. And so that's how it happened.
Wow.
And it was just amazing. Once I got there, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm home.
You felt comfortable.
Yeah, I was like,
because
I
at that
belong
age,
here.
like you're saying, sometimes you could feel out of your depth, or you get the opportunity that you want, but then when you're thrown into
But if
it,
it'd been somewhere else, I would have felt out of my depth. I
Oh.
think it was that I was so lucky that it was at KISS. KISS was such a special place then, because it was it's almost like what you guys created when you were at Vogue, when Edward and all of you took over Vogue.
Yeah.
That egalitarian, truly inclusive culture is what we had at KISS.
Oh, amazing.
And imagine you had children of some of the wealthiest people in Britain alongside local working class kids like myself.
Basically.
And some of the biggest name DJs at the time.
Yeah.
And the whole thing was just about uniting the young people
That
of
is
London
incredible.
through the power of music. So the thing that we all had in common was our
the
love
love
of
for
the music. So it didn't matter who you were. All of that went out the window because it was about
that's incredible
music.
to hear.
So to have had that as my first experience of work was phenomenal.
Absolutely phenomenal.
So it meant that I never felt out of depth or that I didn't belong, because I truly did belong in that place.
Oh, that's incredible, and all power to KISS to have curated that space, because not everyone's lucky.
Most places are not like that.
Exactly. I don't want to say it, but it isn't. Most people, you do feel out of your depth. You do feel like you don't belong. They sometimes push you in that way, or they make you into a mold of what they expect a black woman to be.
Yeah, a young one, anyway,
and they try and have those stereotypes, and then it's like, you have no choice. Well, if I want to be in this space, I have to then, and you just feel stuck, and then it just feels like, it doesn't come enjoyable anymore.
Yes.
So I'm so glad to hear that wasn't your experience.
Definitely
and they did
not.
build that.
Yeah.
And how was that transition from going from radio to TV?
It was pretty natural. And again, it happened through Trevor Nelson.
Good old Trev.
Yeah.
Trev is also another icon,
We
to be
love
honest.
Trev.
He's
the best.
really
and he
been.
never ages.
Oh, he's
People
never.
say I never age.
You never age.
Trevor Nelson
No,
really does.
we'll bring some clips up of when you literally are the same baby face. Like, seriously, I know black don't crack, but girl, what are you doing? Because seriously, you need to drop the skincare. We need to get June Sarpong a skincare collaboration. We come on. Beauty brands, beauty moguls, No, I'm not trying to flatter you, but no, seriously, you need to drop the skincare. Everyone doing the 12-step blah blah blah. I need to see your skincare routine, please, because you have not changed. You have not changed.
I hope not.
No. It's just beautiful.
Thank you. But,
beautiful.
Bless you, darling.
No.
But Trevor also has not changed, and he's a lot older than I am. I mean, I'm getting up there, but he really is. He's like a decade more.
Wow.
And he looks like a baby.
No,
still.
still.
But anyway, so
he was one of the DJs there.
Yeah, so he was one of our biggest, not just one of the DJs.
No,
he was one of the biggest DJs.
Trevor Nelson was
the man.
He was like the Don, the guy to know, basically.
He was
the guy to know. He had all the parties, all the events, all the cool,
everything.
Yeah,
And so I, at the
his
time,
catalogue of things is just like
amazing.
epic.
And he
epic.
had, you may be a bit too young for this, but he used to have this club night at Villa Stefano, which was the night. And it was, I think it was a Thursday night in Holborn. And everybody used to go to it. It was amazing. The music was off the hook. And any cool R&B star that was in London, that's the place they would end up. You know, it was amazing. But anyway, so I was on the thing called the record inquiry line, where this is pre-internet. So if you heard a song on the radio and you wanted to know who it was by, you would call the line that I manned. Yeah. And you would tell me, you know, I heard this song on such and such a
Will they sing it to you then?
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
So I'd have
They
people,
will be singing
I'd have
down
people
the
humming, and then I'd be humming back with them. Oh, yeah, yeah.
So how would you know?
Two things. Back then, it was all analog, so we would write every record.
Oh, wow.
The time
As they play,
the time it was played and how long it was played for.
Right.
So if somebody said, I called up at, I think it was around 12:03, you'd be able to tell this was on at 12:03 and it played for this long, so it's definitely this
that
song. And sometimes they'd get the time wrong, but if they'd hum it, I'd be like, oh, yeah, I kind of know.
Yeah.
So anyway, so imagine that was me. And I would be talking, and I'd end up knowing about their families and all of this stuff. Like chat. And so Trevor...
They didn't put you on a timer because, you know, sometimes
I'd be on the phone all day. And and then I'd call my friends too. And so Trevor saw this, and he was like, this girl's so chatty. And he treated me like a little sister. He was so sweet to me. And so when he got the MTV job, because he started presenting a show on MTV called The Lick, which was the coolest.
They're coolest.
And they were then looking for somebody for the dance floor chart. He said, you know what, there's this young girl at KISS. You know, she's never done TV before, but I bet she'd be good. You should take a look at her. And that's how it happened.
Trevor, thank you, because literally, like, that's also a testament to who he is, you know? Because some people go and you get the limelight and then they don't look back or don't try and open the gate or keep the door open, because sometimes there's only one in, one in, one out, you know? That system where it's like, there's only this face, we've got this face now, so no more. And I'm such a testament to him.
Totally. And I remember I had a friend who was with him at the time, and she was like, yeah, she'd be great. So the two of them were like, you need to meet this girl.
I love it. Oh my God. So did you have to audition?
I need to tell you the story of the audition. Again, back to when life gives you opportunities that you don't yet feel ready for, you kind of still have to do it, even if you're sort of petrified. So anyway, at the time, I was working in the music business. I was working for BMG, looking after lots of musicians, and so I was looking after...
In terms of talent?
Yeah. I used to be a plugger. So at KISS, back then, people would have their radio job, right? But that only paid so much. Yeah. So you then would always, if you were decent enough, you'd have a record company job. Right. So a lot of the DJs were A&R men as well. So they all had like these... And back then, and it was a big deal. You would hire like the biggest DJ. So imagine if Calvin Harris was around back then. Calvin would have like a big A&R division in one of the big record companies. That's kind of how it was back then. Right. So they all had their A&R jobs. And because I was... by this point, they'd put me on air on KISS. I was doing the weekend show, like sort of all the celebrity gossip and stuff. So I then ended up getting this record company job. So I was working at BMG. It was the time we were looking after all of the cool R&B acts, from Tony Braxton, Whitney Houston, Usher, TLC.
All the American,
all the baby faces stuff.
And incredible.
It was
are you hearing this, guys?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And so Usher, I was part of the team that helped launch the You Make Me Wanna album.
No.
Yeah, I organised his first show.
No.
Yeah. So anyway,
that album is like
dope.
Literally.
Well, can you imagine what it was like when we got sent the first promos and we put it on, and it was like, oh, this is Usher's new album. Everyone in that, and it was a small team. I was working for an amazing man called Mervyn Lynn, who I owe so much to in terms of my career. We put it on. We were like,
his sound was just so.
Every single song was good.
You didn't
play
skips.
The whole thing.
No skips.
It was just like pull it on.
Yeah.
And then when we started seeing the pictures come, we were like, this thing's gonna be
and
huge.
that's when literally they really invested in videos
Yeah,
and the whole
photography,
the album cover.
Sleeve was a thing.
It was a thing.
It
You
was-
wanted to buy that CD for the album sleeve and be like, oh my god, look at the picture.
Yeah, and then you had a little six-pack and all this.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I got my first big work stretch project, which
Right.
was to organise Usher's first London showcase.
Wow.
So anyway, so I was in the middle of organising this, and then I used to live very far. So BMG was in Putney,
Right.
and I lived in Leighton.
Oh,
So
wow,
it
that's
would
like
be-
other ends of the world, guys.
So
That's
it was
like-
like an hour and a half
Yeah.
journey, whatever. Anyway, so we had the big showcase coming up. So I was in the office till late. And then I remembered, oh my goodness, that I had this MTV audition. And
Oh
I
my
didn't get home
gosh.
till like, I don't know, 10 or something.
Oh my gosh.
And so I was
June.
so tired that I was like, I'll learn the scripts in the morning.
June.
I woke up late.
Oh, June.
Debs, I almost didn't go, but I was so lucky. I had a friend from America staying with me.
Right.
And she was like, oh, yes, you are.
Oh my.
Put some clothes on.
Their hustle is different, America.
Yeah, their hustle's
They're really
different.
humble, you know, especially us being Ghanaians as well. Oh, you know what? I'm
maybe
just
it's
not
not
going
for
to.
me.
Maybe it's
She was
not.
like, put your clothes on, getting on the tube, we're going. So we get to MTV, and I arrive, and I look around, and literally all the big name DJs that I work with at KISS are all there.
I'm going for the same audition.
Some of the biggest names.
No.
So I'm like, I'm not getting this. Like, I just thought, oh, it doesn't matter. I can relax, whatever. I'm just going to go through the motions. And so then they came through and they were like, you need to know scripts 1 and 2. And scripts 1 and 2 were the longest on the page
Oh
that I
my
definitely
God, that
did
you
not
didn't-
know. And so I remember I said a little prayer. I said, God, I'm so sorry for being so disorganized. Please. I promise, if you get me through this, I will never be this disorganized again. I don't know if I kept that promise, but I meant it in the moment.
God knows your heart.
He
God
knows
knows
my
your heart.
And so, anyway, went through. Somehow I managed to remember
Wow.
scripts 1
One
and
and
2
two.
and did it. And then they said, talk about yourself for a minute. Now, obviously, that.
Yeah,
geez.
that you can do.
So I did. And at the end of it, they were like, you obviously know what you're doing. I was thinking, if only you knew. And then, a couple of weeks later, I got a call to
Wow.
say that they wanted me to do a proper film a pilot to see what I was like on camera in
Yeah,
real
yeah.
situation of what the show would be. We went to film at Dingwalls in Camden, and that went well. And then they offered me the show. And so I was part of that era of what we were
Wow.
called then, MTV Girls.
I mean,
with
no. Seeing you
me-
on TV is just, June, I'm telling you, I've had a couple of incredible people on this couch.
Oh, of course you have.
And literally everyone referenced you.
Oh,
I'm telling you, I could do a montage of how many people have referenced
God,
you.
wow.
What you mean to people, what you have meant to people, what you still mean to people. How does that make you feel? How do you know in this? And do you feel a lot of pressure in that?
No, I mean, I feel very, very humbled, and it's so lovely to hear.
No,
You know what I
seriously,
mean?
it's,
Like,
I can
just-
tell you, I probably will do the montage because literally the amount of people that have referenced you, have you inspired them, how seen you, how you being you, and also your authentic self. You weren't trying to be, sometimes there's people that, again, they try and mold you into something. And, we can see it. We can see it straight. It's like,
we can see it.
Come on, you're not being
Yeah,
real.
this ain't
You're not being
real.
real. Come on, but you were, and you kept that consistency and that work ethic, and just, I mean, for me, the fact that I can call you a friend literally blows my mind.
Yes,
Blows my mind.
Oh, it goes
Seriously,
without
seriously.
saying.
I'm so excited.
But it's just so lovely to hear, and also because there are people that were that for me, and also I think the wonderful, we know each other very well. Is it's always ongoing. It never is. So even if you look at someone, you think, oh, they've done whatever. They're still work in progress. I'm still dealing with my imposter syndrome. It's like anything. What do the young people call it? Levels. So it's like, you do one thing and then you've got to get your mind ready to
go to the next
capacity
thing.
to take the next thing,
Yeah,
and
what
not-
got you to the first level is not going to be what gets you to the next level.
and not self-sabotage and all of that. So, yeah.
But how did you manage that though? Because in this day and age, I mean, we'll go back to MTV, but in this day and age where there is a lot of social media pressure and a sense to perform, and
Yeah.
there is like, oh my God, I have to be this way because someone's looking at me, and then whatever. I mean, I have that the same. I see things and I'm like, oh my God, what if they think this and this, and what am I? And maybe
Yeah.
I'm not doing enough. Maybe I
Yeah.
need to be this. And like, how did you keep yourself moving in those spaces, being with talent, doing with people like it's such a crazy world, the creative industry.
It really is.
How
I
did you
think
stay
one, I
grounded?
really like people. I mean, like across the board, and I find people so interesting, regardless of background. And so there aren't many people that I can't find some common ground. I mean, there are
Connection
some
with.
people, obviously, they're just nothing. But most people I
Yeah,
can
yeah,
connect with in
yeah.
some way. And I think I've always been a bit more open-minded. So I'm always curious about why back to the why somebody is the way
Yeah,
they are,
yeah.
or why they think the way they do, as opposed to be quick to just denounce them,
Right,
unless it's
right,
extreme. I
right,
mean,
right, yeah,
extreme views,
yeah,
obviously
yeah.
not. So I think that meant that people could see I was genuine. Like I just
No,
really do
absolutely.
like people. Find people fascinating. So I think that helped. Two, back to the sort of Ghanaian origins, that sense of self. I was rooted in this amazing culture, which I think gave me a real sense of pride in who I was, and so therefore I was not trying to be anything else. And I am back to growing up in Walthamstow. I think growing up in a very diverse multicultural community.
You interacted with so many people.
Yeah, meant that I was comfortable with people from all walks of life, but also I was never alienated growing up. Because I think when you have those experiences where you're the only one like yourself as in that formative stage, it can really damage you. And I didn't have that. And I do think that definitely helped a lot when I then went out into the world, where I was in rooms all the time where I was the only one.
Yeah.
I had enough of a foundation to be able to take it
And
on.
also a sense of, for me, anyway, I don't want to speak for you, but I sense that you walked into the room knowing that you belonged in those rooms.
Not even, no, definitely
Really?
not. No, I never felt I belonged in those rooms, but I never felt I didn't belong in them. There's a difference.
How
I never
so?
felt, I still don't feel like I belong in that.
Really? Still?
Well, no, because I just think that there are lots of things where you're like, no, this is not necessarily who I am, but I don't think I don't belong in them.
Right.
Do you see what I mean? So it's not like you're going to be intimidated, but I'm not like hanging out. Do you know what I mean? There's a difference. So you can do it, and you do it because it's all part of it.
Yeah.
But it's not like kicking back with my
just being like,
girlfriends. No.
I think there was an interview where I think they interviewed Coleman Domingo and then also I want to say Macaulay Culkin, but maybe it was his brother.
Oh,
But he
one
basically
of the Culkin brothers.
one of the Culkin brothers, and basically Coleman was saying how before he gets on set, how he prepares, how he does things. He's militant. He has his coffee. He studies the script, blah blah blah.
So he has his ritual,
right? And then the Culkin brother was like, "Oh, I just turn up, wake up, and get to set." But I feel like in those spaces we have to be so prepared that when we do walk in those spaces,
I don't believe that.
Oh, really?
I've never felt that.
No.
No. And I think that is also
You wouldn't show up to a space not prepared.
No, but I wouldn't.
Whereas your Caucasian counterpart could possibly do.
I don't feel that. No, I don't. I never took that stuff. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, now I can say what I mean. I never took that stuff on.
Right.
That does not serve you.
Right.
I'm not always thinking in those terms. No.
But doesn't the environment make it hard not to think in those terms?
Only if you allow it.
Very true.
Like, I'm not thinking and if someone else wants to think about me in those terms, that's their problem. It's not mine. And I am not taking that on.
Oh my God.
And then, so therefore, I'm whatever environment, obviously, you switch it up a bit, but I would hope I'm bringing the same person the part of me from the part of myself that is applicable to that environment.
Right.
Not I'm creating something to fit in that environment.
Right.
Yeah, but I never, no. And I would say to young people, to anybody who has ever felt other, never take that on board. That does not serve you. Yeah.
This is why she's an icon, people.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is why she's an icon. Like, giving gems, giving gems. What did your parents think about everything? Like, you must be like, go home, obviously African household, and then next day you're with Usher, you're with, I don't know, Whitney, Destiny's Child. Like, how are you, like, tell me some of those kind of
How do your parents think? You're the same. I mean, it's like,
not quite, not quite.
Also,
like,
you know what's different, I suppose, is, when I started, there weren't many. I don't think there was probably another one. I think I was probably the only one at the time.
Yeah.
So it was very new. It was new. Imagine for Ghanaian immigrants. For their kids to be with prime ministers.
Literally, people that they've seen on TV and you're sitting on TV with them.
People that they're voting for.
Literally.
Like, they're like, huh?
Yeah.
But now...
They're calling back home. Did you see June?
Now you've got Ray and this. So, now it's so common. Now they're confused if the person isn't Ghanaian. They're like, oh, he's not Ghanaian now.
Or Nigerian. They're taking over.
Yeah, well, yes, we won't have that debate.
I know. We won't go there. We love our brothers and sisters from Nigeria. We love.
But so it was very, very, it was sort
new
of
to them,
new and exciting.
And did you go home and tell them stories of like your day, or was it just like
and also because there was so much happening, Debs. It was such an exciting time. Imagine this is sort of the noughties, when Oasis and Blur and Soul to Soul was still big then. Jamiroquai.
Oh, Jamiroquai. He was a guy. He was a dude.
You had all, and then obviously hip hop was beginning to blow up here. It was such an amazing time. So to be able to be doing that job then, and imagine we were T4 was the only really. There were other shows, but I'd say we were the only cool one.
Yeah.
So like, everybody came on our show. So can you imagine being at the heart of all of that, and then all the American stars?
Yes.
So, what we were talking about was the fact that there was so much going on that in a weird way, we didn't even have the moment to sit and smell the roses. Because there's always another thing. There's always an award show. Like, there's so many things now. I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe we did that. Like, oh my God.
There was so much happening, and I think there was an essence of, no offense to social media, and such a great tool, but not having social media, right, was such a great thing, because you really lived in the moment.
You lived in the moment.
You didn't pick up your phone to then film the moment.
And it was in the magazine a few days later. It was not, and there wasn't
straight
the
up
pressure to have to be, I'm still so slow on this stuff. I'll post like 3 weeks later. But
same. Literally, I'm always like, throwback.
Oh, yeah. People are like, huh?
Yeah, people are like, you were in Mexico? And I was like, no, that was like 2 months ago. That was a year ago, actually. Or I've never made it to Mexico, actually.
You go out, and they're like, I thought you were in... No, that was why. I'm just seeing my pajamas posting from home. Oh, Debs, I saw you out. And also the fact that people are like, oh, Debs, I saw you. And I was like, oh, yeah, did I? It's like, oh my God, I put it on social media. People that don't even know you, like, are literally coming up to you saying, oh my God, I saw that you were in your house and that couch was going. I was like, oh God, yeah. So sometimes I have a little love-hate relationship because, like, why do you know so much about me? But that's because I posted it. It's me that posted it. Oh, social media and that whole thing. But you didn't have that, so you could live in the moment. Yeah. And you could really just build a community in real life and not just on totally.
Online.
And for as you know, I've always been teetotal. So, but for all my friends that were getting very messy, they could get messy in private, couldn't they? I mean, like exactly. You didn't have to worry about someone with a camera filming them doing whatever. So
and you being total all your life, like, did you find that environment? Because I feel like when you are out partying, everyone's like, have a drink and and just being in
the beginning, but then once, because I never judged anyone, I was like, absolutely. Hey, do you? But once I've said no enough times, then people stopped asking. Okay. And then in fact, then they started protecting my teetotalness, where they would be like, "Oh no, June doesn't drink. Oh, she doesn't do that," and then it was fine.
Yeah.
But I never judged anyone else. And people could do whatever they wanted.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would still be in rooms where it was
yeah,
happening.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah. No, absolutely.
yeah.
And then how did you find the obviously going from, like I said, radio to TV and transitioning into multiple spaces that you have? Like, I feel like you have had 1,000 lives.
Yeah, actually.
It really is. How do you know when it's the right time
to pivot?
Yeah, Oprah says thing. You have to know when it's the next right step. And I'm like, Oprah, how do you know when it's the next right step?
I think it's intuition, isn't it? So it's when I look at, let's say, my the sort of the height of my television career, I came up at a time where it really was the sort of the rise of youth culture, and the show that we did, we were paid to be young, and so once I sort of hit 30 or whatever it was, where I wasn't as young and things were changing, I just intuitively could feel that something was shifting.
Okay.
And I've never been scared of change. So I was never somebody who's like, oh my God, I'm desperately trying to hang on. I was like, this has been an amazing, almost, 15-year run or whatever. I'm not complaining.
And that's consistency.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like I said, they don't allow you to have longevity. They put you on and then a year or two, then it's about like that consistency you had, that authenticity you had all the way through.
Yes.
And it was just beautiful to watch.
Oh, bless you.
No, definitely.
Thank you.
No, absolutely.
But anyway, so when I could feel that, I was like, okay, it's time to do something else. And that's what made me move to America. And so then I moved
New
to
York,
the States,
right?
to New York originally, yeah. And there I then ended up setting up this women's conference and moved into a completely different space.
What was it called?
It was called We. We were one of the biggest at the time. I mean, any woman you can think of came to our conference, and that lasted.
And was that from you, basically, obviously from all your contacts you've had before?
Yeah,
just really pulling together.
And being in America,
that
the
attitude
American
is
dream
different, right?
is real. I mean,
Tell us about that, because I feel like the can do.
Yeah.
It's not aggressive. What's the word I'm looking for? It's just a tenacity.
You know what it is? America is a country where anything is possible, which is why you have. So, the thing that I love most about us in Europe, and I would say in particularly in the UK, is our social safety. In that, morally as a society, whatever side of the political spectrum you're on, there is a level at which we do not believe you should allow society to fall under, and obviously, I'm a liberal Labour person, so ours is probably higher than, the other side perhaps, but still, there's still a level. America doesn't have that. America is like, pull yourself up. And if you're down there, that's on you.
That's on you.
But the flip side of that is there is no ceiling. That's the flip side. So the flip side of that is actually
you can really do for yourself.
Come from the most unimaginable poverty, and if you get into the right space and you have the right attitude, there will be somebody willing to take a chance on you. What is that film? The Will Smith film?
Pursuit of Happiness.
Correct.
Oh, yes.
Very highly unlikely to happen anywhere other than America. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like anywhere other than America.
No,
that you can be the homeless man on the street.
Yeah, with your child carrying a thing.
Yeah, and talk to some big hedge fund guy.
Who gives you an opportunity.
So I've always had a head for numbers. And then, no. Hardly anywhere.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So the beauty of that is, but the downside is when it's hard.
It's hard.
Yeah. And there is not much in place to get you out.
That's the thing. There's not much in place.
Yeah.
There's not much in place to get.
Us.
Yeah.
But the beauty of that is, we were at this amazing dinner in New York City.
And why New York? Why was it New York for you?
New York. Well, I moved to LA first, actually.
Because I would have
I
think
did
LA would be.
Yeah, I did LA for a bit, but New York always felt like home. LA never felt like home.
Really?
LA,
I'm the opposite.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
New York, I
LA,
just can't get with it. But LA?
I love New York. I could live in New York anytime. LA, I loved for the weather.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
the lifestyle.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
That's what
To
I
be
mean.
hiking in the sunshine.
Go to
every
brunch.
day, Go to
brunch. Like
juices,
literally,
air
juice,
one.
a Pilates, then get a thing, then do a little hike,
On
then go to would you go a place to do your work, and then go to a little coffee shop.
It's like
then literally
wild.
after your meetings at 5, you can go for a walk in the beach.
I know. I mean,
Come on and watch the sunset.
It is incredible. But for me, it never felt like home.
Right.
New York reminded me so much of London, but just faster.
Yes.
And so
the pace is
and the
like
pace and just and also LA, because it's only a one industry town.
Yes.
I mean, if you're not in entertainment,
there's not much. Yeah.
Whereas New York, there's everything.
Yeah.
New York, you go to a dinner and you're going to sit next to an interesting artist. You're going to sit next to a philosopher. You're going to sit next to some finance person. You're going to sit next. LA, you're only going to sit next to someone who's either in TV or films. That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it just so for me, LA was nice, and I needed to do LA to begin with. But then once I was sort of settled in America, New York was my place. So when I moved to New York, get invited by Sarah Brown, who is a dear friend of mine, and who when Gordon was Prime Minister, I'd known her for very well, and we'd done various charitable stuff together. Anyway, so she invites me to this dinner, and it's called the Important Dinner for Women in the way that only New York can. And you walk into this dinner, and everyone you can think of, Debs, is there. It's like one of your dinners, darling. And literally, Oprah, Barbara Streisand, Nicole Kidman. I mean, it was insane. And so she basically challenged every woman in the room to commit to doing something to a woman in need. And so myself and my then co-founder, we stood up and we said we were going to do an event. We'd never done one before. And Ariana Huffington, Donna Karen, and Sarah came on board to co-host. And we ended up setting up this women's conference, which then became the market leader in the States for years. And again,
I mean, incredible. Always just like.
But I don't think we could have done that here. I don't think we would have had the same. Not then. You know, my point about the American dream, people are willing to take a chance on you. And obviously Sarah's British and amazing. Yes. But it was almost like we almost needed that American ecosystem to allow her belief in us to take.
I feel like they're also very much willing to collaborate.
Yes, yeah.
The collaboration is very much like, I got this person that oh my God, let me connect you with. They're very much that. Whereas London, no offense, but the connection will take months to come.
But the difference is when it comes, it's real.
Yes.
So the difference is I'm generalizing here, but when you're out every night in New York City, if you're in hospital, chances are they're not coming to see you. In London, your friends are your friends. Good or bad, thick or thin, they're there.
Whereas when you can't do nothing for them no more,
it's
like, oh, I lost your number.
Did you? I didn't see it.
I thought I saw you, but maybe that wasn't you. Like, maybe. Were you trying to like connect with me? Did you call me?
Exactly.
Yeah. The amnesia comes real quick. And so how did New York transition into everything that you're doing now? And I feel like, how do you give us advice of people like right now? Everyone's a multi-hyphenate. Everyone's like and I feel like you straddle that so well, and you straddle so many industries, like art, into fashion, into literature, and still into journalism. How are you doing that?
But I mean, I suppose I started out as focused on one, and I sort of branched out, one, out of necessity, and two, because to my curious Gemini nature, I've always been somebody that's interested in many things. But also I do think that, part of the reason why I did branch out is within my own industry, there was a limit. There was a ceiling for somebody like me. So therefore I had to do other things outside of my industry, which in the end, full circle, turned out to be a good thing. It meant I was able to sort of go into more corporate executive roles that perhaps some
But
of
I
my
always thought
contemporaries
you'd
hadn't.
have your own show.
Yeah, but at the time they weren't ready. I mean,
I
it's
know, which
different.
is,
Like,
yeah, it's
yeah,
different now.
I came close many times. Came close many times, and last minute it wouldn't. But you
But
know
what
what?
about now? We
Well,
could do it. I could see you,
yeah, I
the
mean,
J Hud of
well,
us.
I do have one actually, culture conversations, and
Ah.
that is all talking to some of the world's leading business minds on how they build great corporate culture.
Oh,
So, yeah, very
amazing.
exciting.
Amazing. So therefore, going into that, now into the multi industries, how are you, like I said, going back to, I want you to talk about how you kind of straddled that. So you didn't do your own show. You started the women's conference.
Yeah.
Then you're in an art space.
Yeah.
Then you're speaking to what is the UN. Then you're like
Yeah.
back in Africa. Then you're writing a book. Then tell us how are you doing it? Because I feel tired trying to be a business owner, a podcaster, and how do you do it so effortlessly? Because you do. I know it's not, but you really. I don't want to put the pressure on, but you are this amazing motivator.
Oh,
Because
bless you.
it really is that if June can do this,
Yeah, well, literally, if June can do it, trust me, anyone can.
you know, not anyone, but it's like
you know
if
what
you
I
have,
mean.
yeah.
But I think I've focused on whatever it is that I need to get done then.
Right.
So, you know, it may look like, oh, there's lots, but actually when it's on that thing, I am on that thing and I'm laser focused and I can be obsessive on the stuff that matters. So if it's, you know, if it's an arts exhibition, you know, I'm going to be on it while we're doing that. If it's a book.
The one you curated at the Saatchi Gallery was,
oh, thank you.
oh
Wasn't
my
that
God.
so much fun?
It was incredible.
Oh.
Incredible. And I love the fact that people listen to you. Because like, you know, it's changing, but it's still, they've still got some way to go in those kind of institutions where people that look like us are not given the autonomy or the power to
in the
make
same
change
way,
or
there aren't enough.
there's not enough. And
totally.
the fact that you do and you always bring us in and you bring people, and it's, I mean, the room was, I've been to those things before, and sometimes I'm the only one in there still in 2020, you know?
Imagine.
Whereas what you did, it was just a multitude of people, and it just felt so organic and just so. Do you enjoy those moments, and how do you do?
It. I love bringing people. I suppose because for the one thing that has been consistent in my career, whatever it's been that I've been doing, is about bringing people together. And people who may, on the face of it, seem like they would have nothing in common. And so even with the women's conference, the whole point of that was about bringing together women from very different backgrounds and to have an intergenerational dialogue as well, which is something that we always did throughout history. But in the last sort of, 5 decades or so, that's completely stopped. And we need that. We need to learn from our elders. We need to be around the next generation coming through. That is how a family is structured. And that is actually how friendship groups should also be structured. So I've always loved the idea of bringing people from different walks of life together and the alchemy that's created when you do that.
No.
So, yeah.
No, absolutely. And I feel like the way you even handle relationships and literally nurture relationships is such a testament to that as well, because you're very giving.
Well, I like people.
Yeah, you do, but you don't have to. And some, like we just touched on, some people are not so. Once you get to that, upper, in the circles that you roll in and the things you do, people do become unreachable.
Yes.
And it becomes
because we've all been. Well, I mean, I can't speak for anyone else, but for me, I know what it feels like when you're starting. And I know that there are people who put in phone calls for me that have made my career possible. So if I can do that for someone else, why wouldn't I? No. And it's just nice to see someone succeed. Like, I love it when you see, like, great.
No, I remember our conversation when I was struggling and I came to, and the fact that you made time, I was just like, I still couldn't believe, I still don't believe it, to be honest. It's just like, I know, obviously we're speaking and I know your heart and I know who you are, but sometimes I do pinch myself like, oh my God, Sarpong is like talking to me. We're literally this woman that we literally watched. And the fact that you're so proud, like you're like, Des, you're doing it. You're
your
like,
stuff is good, girl.
Thank you.
I mean, if it's a Deborah event, we know it's going to be fierce.
Thank you. And it's just a testament to who you are and what you continue to do. So I want to touch on what you're doing now, how you got into writing books, where does all your inspiration come from, and
Yeah.
just really tell us a little bit about where you're at now
Yeah.
in your stage of life.
Yeah, of course. So, one, as I said, the Culture Conversations podcast has just launched. So we've got
Yes,
cocktails and
yes.
conversations. We've got culture
Culture
conversations.
conversations, CNC.
And I think for anybody that's particularly either working in a corporation, um, leading teams in a corporation, or building your own business, how you foster really um, a really successful culture is important. We
Yeah,
know that a company
absolutely.
lives or dies based on its culture.
Yeah.
So to be able to talk to some of the best people on the planet who created amazing businesses, and look at how they've not just built their businesses, which is what often people talk about, but actually
Yeah.
I'm much
Yeah.
more looking at what is it that you did to create the kind of culture where your team believes success was possible for you. And so really going into that.
And how did that all come about?
Well, it's funny because, from all of my work with Diversify and all of my inclusion work, the thing that kept always coming up again and again was always culture, 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 culture. And I think there's an even broader conversation around culture, because if you get culture right, the company's naturally inclusive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it starts there. You know, what are the company's values?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
are we actually living those values? And not just on a piece of paper. People are actually behaving in the way that we profess to be. So that was really the sort of the initial thinking, and I'd done a lot of work with the London Stock Exchange Group anyway. So I went to them and said, "How about we partner on this?" And luckily they said, "Yeah." And so that's been a lot of fun. And then, like I said, I have my food brand that's launching later in the year.
Yes.
And a women's network, actually. So one of the things with which for me that I found was really interesting, was with we would do these massive events, Deborah, and I know you understand this. Huge events bringing, hundreds and thousands of people together, glitzy stages, all of that. Then the conversation would end.
Stop. Yes. Yes.
And one of the things that I love most is when I go somewhere and somebody that went to our conferences either here or in America, or even we did them in Africa.
Yeah.
We were one of the first to do Africa as well. We did South Africa.
Oh, wow.
And and they'll say, "Oh my God, I met my business partner. Oh my goodness, I met the woman who gave me the job." And it's just so lovely. But we never ever had a way of continuing that dialogue. So anyway, so I have a platform launching called Womanly. Now this is an exclusive, womanly.co.uk, and that is really fostering that dialogue.
Oh, amazing. Oh, wow. I mean, you do so much, so much.
It sounds like it's a lot.
No, but it is. It is. Tell me about the book and what brought you to writing Diversify, and just what was the process like? Because writing a book is not easy.
Yeah, well, Diversify was the first one. That came out in 2016.
Wow.
So yeah, so we're sort of a decade in. My goodness, can you believe that? I mean, so many things have happened.
And
since then.
again, the skincare, she needs to drop that because she's still looking good.
Honey, trying. So Diversify, yeah. So that came out 2016, and
What brought you to write it? What
yeah,
made you sit
the
down?
thing that brought me to write it was I was filming in Las Vegas.
I mean, how casual. Like,
Darling,
like
as
June.
one does.
As one
As
does.
one does. I was
her.
filming in Vegas, and there was this kid who, it was so weird, he was on set, and I felt strange around him.
Oh, what's that sense?
Yeah, in that.
Like the energy was off?
No,
or-
this was all me.
Oh.
Like where I sort of came up close with my own unconscious bias. And I didn't think I had any. I
Really?
didn't think that I could have any.
Wow.
And
How
to
so?
sort of experience it made me understand the issue of exclusion in a very different way. It made me understand it from the other side, as opposed to being on the receiving end.
yeah.
Being a black working
woman,
class
yeah.
woman, I've always looked at it as being on the receiving end. But when you do it yourself, you're like, oh, that's what it is. When you meet someone and you perceive them as different to you, and that disconnect sets in, and you somehow begin to retreat. Withdraw, and there's that weird energy. You know it. You know when you're receiving it.
Yeah.
And I was doing it. And I was like, oh my God, that's
I
what
love
this
the fact
is.
you caught yourself.
Yeah, I did. And I thought, wow, I of all people should know better than that. And, I went and had this conversation, and this young man was amazing. And I just thought, wow, if I'm looking at him this way, I hope it's and that's what made me want to figure out how to have a conversation around these issues. And fortunately, a friend of mine, a woman called Caroline Michelle, had represented Sheryl Sandberg's book in the UK. And one day, out of the blue, she just called me and she was like, "June, you should do a diverse lean in." Very
Really?
posh, yeah. You should do a diverse lean in. Very glamorous, very posh. And so I was like, you know what, Caroline, this thing happened when I was living in America, blah, blah, blah. And she said, you should write a book. And so that's how Diversify came about. But I wanted to make sure that it wasn't just, story-led and sort of qualitative data. I wanted real quantitative data, like real sort of numbers. So I partnered with Nuffield College, Oxford, and we did a lot of research. And the LSE did some research.
About you, that integrity of literally
just to make sure that data was in there. And 10 years now.
Wow. And how long did it take you to write it? To
2
finish
years.
it?
2 years. Yeah, that one took a while because it was the first one. And also, there's a lot of research in there.
And how did you know when it was finished? Like, you're like, this is going to be what I'm going to put out into the world? Because writing a book is like,
I think, but because this was a sort of a much more fact-driven book, I think if you're writing fiction is different. But with this one, I had a process.
An aim of what you wanted
we
to
knew
include.
what each chapter was going to be. Right. So it was a sort of an obvious end to a chapter. I think if you're writing fiction, it's different. Yeah, I haven't written fiction yet.
Well, yet, exactly. Yet it's coming. It's coming. And a decade on, how do you feel about it? Do you feel like we've changed?
Oh my God. I mean, a decade on, it's so funny. When the book first came out, I was very much making the case for why diversity and inclusion, creating the kind of framework where, regardless of a person's background, everyone can be the best version of themselves, and why that's better for society. Yeah. And so I was making the case for the why. And then, Me Too happened, George Floyd happened, and companies went straight from the why to the how. Yeah. Tell us how to do this. Yeah. And then obviously in the last few, last
and that
year.
brought you to BBC, right?
Yeah. And then I got the role at BBC. And then obviously in the last, year or so, whatever, we've almost sort of gone to no.
Yeah. And it's flipped back to.
And more companies are beginning to realize you got to do the why again. But I think the good thing, and I don't think this gets enough attention, for me, I see the backlash as almost inevitable. Like with any change, there's always pushback. You look at any movement in history, there's always that moment where there's this kind of pushback for things to then settle.
Balance out.
Yeah, and I think that actually, businesses realize, you want to appeal to as broad a customer base as possible. And so therefore you need a workforce that can do that authentically.
Yeah.
And so for me, I think this is probably a needed conversation. And also, if we're honest, I think a lot of, my friend Dia Khan articulates this really well when she talks about how, in a way, we didn't do a good enough job of painting a picture for the role that those that were the beneficiaries of the old system, for what their role was in the new. And that this was not based on the old way of zero-sum game, somebody has to lose, somebody to win, but no, to say there's a way to do something where everyone gets a chance. Because we don't all want to do the same thing.
Yeah. That
right?
too. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So actually, and with AI coming in,
Mm.
we better be looking at
Yeah.
optimizing human
Yes.
potential, particularly when machines are going to be doing so much. You
And they
know what I
already
mean?
do. Everything's automated. Everything now. You go to the
So,
supermarket and you have to pack your shopping yourself.
yeah.
I was like, I don't work here.
I don't work here. I'm not going to be paid for this.
Literally.
So we better figure out how to optimize as many people as possible, not the opposite.
And I want to talk about how was your work at the BBC, because that is such a big institution, and for you to go in there, I love that the fact that they hired you. I was like, yes, only tune can, only tune can. But also, you did have a massive task of going into that space,
Yeah.
and really, did you find that they were open?
Yeah, actually, yeah,
okay.
because they'd had
Yeah.
quite a bit of
Yes, yes,
trouble.
they did.
They'd had
Yes,
multiple problems
yes.
before.
That's what I'm saying, and that was like, oh, June, I love you, but I'm praying for you.
So they were they were very open, and I was lucky. I had amazing bosses
Okay.
and
And that's the thing,
collaborators.
allyship, right?
And
People that actually want to change and see the
Yeah.
change.
Totally.
So they're
And
going to listen.
we were able to invest a lot of money. We invested total $124 million in diverse content, in terms of on air television content. And then we invested, I think it was another 48 million. Was it 48? I think it was, yeah, I think it was about that on radio. So, yeah, so it's,
I mean,
you're seeing it now,
yeah,
which is great.
yeah, no,
The great thing is, I'm
the
no
impact,
longer there, but
yeah.
to see
the impact.
because these things, what people don't realize is these things take years.
Oh,
So
time.
a show
Time.
that was being developed when I was there, and I left over 3 years ago, is now
coming on there.
So
Yeah,
to see
yeah,
it is just great.
what do you call it? Nicole Lecky, like she's done a couple of shows with BBC, and literally to be the writer, director, and starring. Oh, she's incredible.
Yeah, a lot of that
Absolutely.
stuff was started.
That's what I mean. So the impact, and some people do be like, oh, nothing's changed, but it's like it takes time with those kind of big institutions. It does take time, and things are working. Maybe they're not seen, but
Totally.
I wanted to touch on the impact that you had, even in the short time you were there. And it's just been phenomenal. And for women like me to be in the entertainment space, to be able to do what we do, and to have the confidence to do it.
Have the confidence.
It's people like you being, and that's what I say. I love the fact that you straddle multiple industries, multiple spaces, not just the entertainment space. It's refreshing to see, and it's just so, like I said, if June's doing it, it's possible.
You can do it.
It's literally, that's my motto.
Yeah.
Literally, if June's do it, I can do it. I want to take you back, right? I feel like in this day and age, there's a lot of us really successful Black women doing their own thing. Again, multi-hyphenate, but also struggling with dating and companionship. Did you find that when you were in that height of, there was no social media, was that a challenge for you in terms of like you're around all these amazing stars, right? So therefore you go on a date and be like, so how was your day? Well, I interviewed Usher and I planned the party. Like, how did you find that? Because I'm kind of figuring out how that works.
I think it depends on who you.
Yes, it does.
So
it does.
It has to be somebody who is okay with that.
Because a lot of people are.
That's not
how do you
true.
talk? How do you go? No, how do you? No, see, how do you go?
Only if you believe.
How do you go on a date and be like, you just literally mention some of the top names? It must be intimidating.
Yeah, but they might have operated on someone that day.
That's very true.
Only if you actually to that point. It's only if you value that stuff more. I never did. Like, I don't look at that stuff, because also we know a lot of people in our world.
Yes, I mean,
a lot of them crazy. So so I never looked at that as, oh, that is better than. Do you know what I mean? So no, like, that person might be doing something really extraordinary.
But do they see you in that sense? Like she's unattainable because
if they
you
do,
were.
then that's not right, then, is it? So there's the answer. Yeah. If they do, then that's the answer. No.
I know,
because
but
whoever is right is not going to think that.
That's true, but I feel like there's a lot of us that are struggling within that space. Well, my friendship group anyway, like where I know own a house, run a business. But then that part, I think Black women are seen as now either we're difficult or too much, or we want, all the rhetoric that people say, which I don't believe in, right? But I don't. But I guess it's back to what you're saying.
Yeah.
You don't walk into those spaces thinking, oh, I have to,
I've never
be
subscribed to
Yeah,
that, and I've never looked at myself in that way. I'm who I am. Obviously, I'm a Black woman.
Yeah. And that's it. Full stop.
Yeah.
End of conversation.
Yeah.
This is who I am, and this is how it is. And
So,
if we connect in that way,
I've never believed in those labels. Also, I'm really lucky because, and like the women in my family are incredible women. I had my great grandmother was amazing. She was, from this poor little village and became self-made, like this tiny little 4'11" woman, powerhouse.
Yeah.
Built her own money. I mean, my great grandfather was very successful, and so she married this guy who was seen as a giant in his day, and he was very wealthy, very good looking, very charming. I'll leave that bit there.
Yeah, we know what that means.
She was wife number one. And she was like, no, I'm not putting up with that. And she was like, I'm out of here. And built this amazing, market trading business on her own. Had multiple properties.
That sounds like Nigerian energy. Because most of the time,
my grandmother was it's Ashanti energy.
Oh,
yeah, Ashanti women. They're
true.
fiery.
Yeah, we are.
And so I had these role models and these women who were everything. So imagine she was this badass businesswoman in the equivalent
absolutely.
of, badass businesswoman. She had.
These market traders are literally like...
They are no joke.
They're the original
entrepreneurs.
They're the original entrepreneurs.
And the thing that a lot of people don't realize, Ghana, the market trader women
contribute
most GDP to the GDP.
They run things.
They
run things. They know the business. They know the money. They know they know it. Like,
they might be illiterate, but they know money.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So imagine this woman who had this business of her own. She had other people doing markets for her. She had children, tons of grandchildren that she helped raise. She helped raise other people's children. She put so many kids in her community through school. So many kids.
I do miss that though. I don't think we have that in London. Back home, there's such a community. And there's everyone supporting each other.
And then she was still a woman.
Yeah.
She was comfortably feminine. She was a woman of faith. She was just comfortable with it all. There was none of this, I feel guilty to go to work. No, please take the kid on her back to the market. So that is the women who helped mold me. That is what I saw. So I never bought into those labels because I know where I come from.
Yeah, and it's also possible to have that, to have a business, to have children, to have... Because sometimes they make us feel like we have one or the other, right? Oh, well, if you're successful, then
not in the village.
What man's gonna marry you? That rhetoric of
not in the village. No,
absolutely. No, we still got hope, ladies.
Deb, stop! Of course you have. Look at you. Well, amazing. Are you kidding me?
Most of the time, I'm not outside, so maybe I need to put myself out.
Oh yeah, so you need to go out.
Yes, I think I need. Well, I'm out. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, you're always out." But I need to be in the right spaces.
Okay.
I feel like I'm always either planning the party or
it's true.
It's like
because then everyone's coming to you. You're not actually getting to enjoy yourself.
Yes, that's the thing, and actually getting to meet the people. So maybe.
Well, if anybody's watching, do you want them in your DMs?
Why not? Slide in. Slide in. Oh my God. I can't. Julie's telling people to like slide in. Well, no, they're more than welcome. Slide in. Like they say, closed mouths don't get fed, right? So I need to say it. I need to say it. Slide. How did we get here?
I don't know.
I don't even know. Oh my God. We've spoken so much, but I want to, I know you, and I know this is going to help so many people seeing you and hearing your story. Can you give some advice to someone who is possibly feels overlooked or undervalued? Because I feel, again, in these corporate spaces, you're doing all the work, or sometimes you are the only one, or you're having to work twice as hard. What advice would you give that person?
Yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna go sort of much more bird's eye view
Mm-hmm,
and then
mm-hmm,
a bit more granular.
mm-hmm,
I think as far as we know,
mm-hmm,
might be more, but as far as we know, we only have one life.
mm-hmm,
And there's this Indian guru, Satguru, who is has this really interesting take
mm-hmm,
on humanity and how basically when you think about what it takes for a
mm-hmm,
human being to be created, it's
mm-hmm.
a miracle.
A
Like,
miracle that we're
it's
here.
a miracle that that one egg
Yeah.
out of the thousands
Yeah.
and thousands of eggs that
Yeah.
your mother had or has, and then those million little, bits
Yeah.
that have to fight
Mm-hmm.
to be able to fertilize that one
Mm.
egg, and then for you to survive the
Mm.
fertilization process, for you then to survive in your mother's womb for 9 months. Think what it takes, how vulnerable a woman is. We don't talk about that enough. How vulnerable a woman is when she's pregnant.
I mean, women are superheroes. I
And
always say
then
it.
to survive the birthing process, to survive people having to look after you when you can't look after yourself for those early years of life. It is a miracle. And if you can think of yourself in those terms, you have such reverence for the fact that you are here. And I think that that in itself means that if you are somewhere where you are not being valued, you look at that in a very analytical way, in that, do I need to stay here for a short period of time to get X, Y, whatever it is? And therefore, if I know I kind of need this for now, or I have to do this because I don't have anything else, or is there a way to change what's going on in my environment? But if there's no way of changing your environment, i.e., if the place is too rigid, if the place is too stuck in the way it is, then it is for a time. And in that time, you make sure you obviously give your best and deliver your best, but you do it for that time with the view of them being able to move on to the next thing. And sometimes it takes a decade to be appreciated. I think that's the other thing for young people, is you all think you have to be appreciated straight away. Life doesn't work like that. Sometimes you have to prove yourself. And sometimes you will be overlooked. And sometimes someone will get the promotion over you who doesn't deserve it. That's life. It's a long game. But know that actually, if you keep on diligently moving in the right direction, delivering your best, knowing at what point you've come to an end somewhere, not leaving prematurely, but knowing when you've come to an end, eventually you'll get what you deserve. And that isn't always overnight. It isn't. If you look at someone that's successful, often it's just because they stuck with it.
That's very true. I think in this day and age we give up so easily.
Yeah,
right?
and
There's a
also
sense of quickness. We
and
want
just-
everything
and also
instantly.
needing too much external validation.
Yeah.
That's what social media
Yeah.
has done.
Yeah.
Social
Yeah.
media has meant that our sense of self comes from external validation, and that is never a good thing. Never a good thing.
But don't you think social media has curated opportunity for self-expression, but at the same time, you do need that validation? Because sometimes, like for example, let's say I know what I do, right? I know what it is. People know what I do.
Yeah.
But as I go away, I don't post for, like I said, I always post like 3 years later. And then when I do post, it's like all of a sudden someone's brain's like, oh my God, Debs. So it's like it's hard to then feel like
No, that's not
it's
what
like
I mean.
they forget, like out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah,
so
no,
if
but
you're
that's not what I mean. I think that's different. What you're talking about is keeping your community updated on what you're up to, and also maintaining a form of relevance in that regard.
right.
What I'm talking about is that I think what's happened, and I don't know why, but I think that if you look at the sort of issues that we have with high rates of mental illness and anxiety and a lack of sense of self that we have a lot in our young people. I think we haven't done enough to cultivate in them that internal validation. We now live in a world where all of your sense of value has to come from what other people say about you. And as long as that's where you're seeking validation, that is a losing game, because there's always going to be someone that doesn't think you're good enough. So it's about
knowing.
yes, and that's
No, I completely agree, and it's true, and it is a struggle because there's a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of overthinking. I'm an overthinker, working on it, but that, especially in the creative space, the entertainment space, you're here today, gone tomorrow, like you're in, you're out.
So what? You find something else.
I love you. She's like, so, like this is what I mean. It's like I'm just so literally in awe of you, because you do. But the thing is, you do, but you do it so well in so many different spaces, and it's just like
you find something else. You're alive. Hey, number one thing is, are you alive? And if you're lucky enough to be healthy, oh my God. Then there you go.
What do you think about? I mean, I'm still pushing for you to be like knighted or something. I really need that in your future. I don't know how it hasn't happened already. Like Charles, come on now, Forget I need a dame, please. I need even the sir. Like I need the highest of the highest to be bestowed on this woman, please, because what you do. So I want to talk about legacy, right? And everything that you've just said, and everything you've been building. You know your sense of self. You know how to enter these kind of spaces, and your voice is powerful, right? And is respected. How are you building legacy in that, and still continue in that purpose? Because like we said, not everyone transitions that well, right? You get that stage, and then sometimes they can take it away. But you have basically owned the stage. Like, no one can take that away from you now. So how when it's all said and done, what legacy, how do you want to be remembered?
Yeah, well, I think, legacy is something that hopefully you're constantly working on. But I hope it would be that, that I sort of have helped and hopefully continue to help just a whole another generation of people get closer to whatever their dream is. Wherever you can, make a call or put in a good word or whatever, as long as the person obviously can deliver. I think that's the thing that I really enjoy. And you can't always do it, but when you can, I just don't understand why you wouldn't.
Well, for me, you're already building legacy in that sense, and you have, for like I said, so many people that have sat on this couch have referenced your name in that sense, and you continue to do it. And it's I think you really harness the power of, like, actually we are a community and we can rise together.
Yeah, we have
isn't
to.
that one in, one out.
Well,
it's
the only way
really
you build
not.
community. Who wants to be the only successful person like them? How boring.
Some do.
Yeah, well,
some do,
because
not
it's a lonely place if they do.
Some do.
Well,
not
good
everyone's
luck.
as given.
Not naming names.
Not naming names, but not everyone is as given. And throughout your career, how have you set boundaries for people and yourself in terms of how you are perceived and treated within those spaces?
I mean, you still receive rejection, you still receive slights and being overlooked or whatever, but
keeps you grounded when those things happen. Like, what makes you not like, oh my God?
I don't take it personally. But I don't take it personally at all.
Please teach us. How do you
Because I
not
know
do
it's
take
not about me. It's not me per se. It might be what I represent. It might be what somebody thinks someone like me is like, or where somebody like me should be, but it's not me, and so I don't take it personally. And don't get me wrong, sometimes it still hurts, but I experience it in the moment and then I let it go. I don't sit and ponder and no. And I'm very forgetful. So I'll be like, oh, I'll see someone and they were like really rude to me like months before. And I'll forget. I'm like, hi. Oh yeah, no, you're that rude person. Oh yeah, like I forget. I don't hold on to things. Yeah, but I also have a lot of self-respect. So I'm not going to be begging someone who, for whatever reason, can't see my value. No, we don't do that. But yeah, I think you feel it in the moment and then you let it go, and then you also know not to put yourself back in those situations. Like some people are never going to appreciate or value you. Fine. There's lots of other people that will.
Yeah, someone said you're not a tree, move. Like
if
it's not like
actually
it's not serving
and
you.
also the question I always ask myself then is, why would I be seeking validation from that person? What is it I believe about that person in relation to me? And is that what I should be looking at more than whether or not that person's been nice to me?
No, that's so true, and I do love that. Okay, so let's say you're writing your autobiography.
Oh
right?
gosh, yeah.
What?
Don't tell my publisher.
Oh, I know. Are they been forcing you? Are they been like literally chasing you to write one?
Jeez, yeah.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it.
We got a bit more life to live.
I need a film. I need the book, then the film, and then a whole thing on June. Like I need it to be literally encapsulate that. But if you were, what chapter of your life would you be in right now?
Oh, I love that. I love that, Debs. Well, one, we do have the title for it whenever it comes out. It's called The Only One in the Room. Oof. And we've got a while to go. I think probably now maybe a good 10 years from it. But I would say this chapter, preparation.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think you've arrived.
No way. Preparation.
Oh, and how so? Tell us a little bit. What would the chapter consist of?
I would say preparation for the next chapter. And the next chapter will require much more than the chapter before. So there's a level of inner work that I'm sort of in the process of to sort of be becoming ready for that next.
Oh my God, I'm excited.
Yeah, preparation. And preparation is really that inner voice. That is where you're talking, you're dealing with your own imposter syndrome. You're dealing with your sense of value, your sense of worth, all of that. So I would say this stage is preparation, deep preparation.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
As a fellow Ghanaian girl, Ghanaian woman.
Yes.
How has Africa shaped you? Because I know you go back often.
Yes, I do.
And do you have any visions and future of really solidifying yourself there?
It's funny. I love my African heritage, particularly my Ghanaian heritage.
We're the best.
Well, we can't say that.
I know. I'm literally asking for trouble.
We'll let other people say that. But we can't say that ourselves. And that's not a very Ghanaian thing.
I know.
We're very
right?
humble.
We're very humble. That's true. Literally, I can go into a room and not say a word sometimes.
Yeah, we're quietly.
People are literally like, oh my God, Debs, you've done this. And until someone says it, they're like, I just spoke to you. You didn't say half the things you said. I was like, but that's what I do, so I didn't want to say,
Thank you.
But
so I love my Ghanaian heritage and my African heritage, and I definitely feel proudly both. I feel obviously very British, but my Ghanaian heritage has a huge influence on who I am.
Because you wrote some books teaching the African language, no?
No,
Something
I
about
wish.
African
No,
books.
no, my publishing imprint is called Akan Books.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right, right,
So
right, right.
I mean, we don't we don't publish only African books. We publish all books.
Yeah.
But it's named after the
Right,
Akan
right. Apologies, I got that
clan,
wrong.
obviously. But yeah, so yeah, so it very much influences me. I love being in Ghana. I speak Tree, and I love the food. I love the heritage. I love the vibe of the people. I mean, Ghanaians are just so funny. You know, I was speaking to my sister last night, and we were we were laughing. You know, we were speaking Tree, and we were talking about the things that Ghanaians do when you're there. And
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Literally,
you can't explain it.
Yeah,
You
you
just
can't. You have to
believe it.
experience
There
it.
was this wonderful video, actually. You'll know there's a young woman who's on Kiss FM. She's a fantastic presenter, and she had a Ghanaian musician, I think, on the, and they were talking about all the Ghanaian sounds.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey.
hey, hey,
Yes.
oh,
And all the different.
yeah, and what they
And
all
all the
mean.
different
And
meanings.
we all
Yes,
know,
and we all got it. We
yeah,
all know
got it.
exactly
But
what
you know
it
what
was.
they missed out?
Which one?
Hair.
Hey. Yes. Hair. Aquari. I know. I feel like literally. Well, I feel like we're missing that heritage sometimes because I speak it a little bit, but my siblings most don't. My brother doesn't, and my little sister doesn't.
I think the younger ones don't.
Yeah,
But
and
for
I feel like
certain generations, they still do.
I get worried about how we're
just got to make sure they're learning. It's great for the brain if you speak two languages.
Oh, absolutely.
The more languages, the better. But anyway, so what I was saying about what I'm very excited about Africa, and I think actually diasporans like ourselves have a very important role to play in this new world that's being formed. And you know, as Brits, I think we can be very helpful in this new ever-changing landscape in that Africa is going to be such an important force in the world just because of the changing demography. So just a couple of stats, which I know you know, but for your audience, by 2030, over 40% of the world's youth will be African.
Wow.
And by 2050, 1 in 3 people on the planet will be African. So a third of the world. Yeah, because what's happened is in the West and even in the sort of Asian countries that have become dominant forces like China and India, still you have a decreasing population. So you had the population booms in those countries, but that haven't continued. And in the West, we have the same, where actually not enough people are having children anymore. One of the only places still on the planet where people are having a lot of children still is Africa. So the young people, the workforce of the future is going to be African. And I really think that actually this is something that China really understands, which is why it's been investing in Africa for decades now. America's kind of beginning to, but actually Britain, because of our history, obviously some of it has been fraught, but there is still a certain level of love that many of these countries still have for what was seen as the mother country at one point. And I don't think we've done a good enough job of nurturing that, because this place is going to matter so much. And it's not just minerals, which is what people are thinking. It is people. Because you're going to need young people. Whatever AI or whatever's coming, you're going to still need
the creativity and the talent in Africa.
And just the numbers. And so it's a really exciting time. So I think for British diasporans like ourselves, there's a real important role that we can play in being a bridge builder for this new world that's coming.
I mean, like I see you as like literally Oprah in a sense, to be honest. No, seriously, in terms of what you bring and how you cross both sides and really connect Africa. And literally when people see you, you hold it so proudly, right? Like people
love
see
it.
Yeah, you're like, it's like you're Ghanaian babes, like you're just, I know, and when I touched on that, exhibition you did, your outfit that you wore.
Yeah,
I mean,
Studio 89. Yeah.
So good. And again, you just straddle those spaces and just do it so confidently that you give us the grace to do it
Oh, I
ourselves,
love that. Love that.
it really does, because you do
Oh,
it so authentically,
thank you,
and
Des.
it's like I said, the authenticity, it really carries through,
Thank
and
you,
it
darling.
really shows, and I have to say it does. Anyway, I can't speak for anyone else, but like I said, a multitude of people have said your name, so I think I
Oh,
can speak for
mwah.
them. It does, and you do it so well. So please continue,
I'll try.
and please continue to just really give and don't change, and I
I'll
think you will.
try.
But this was such a beautiful conversation. I'm sure
Thank
I've got
you,
so
and
much more to like
congratulations on this. It
ask you.
just looks
I like.
wonderful.
Oh,
I've
thank you,
loved it.
thank
I've
you,
loved
thank
it. So
you.
thank you for having me.
I want to ask 2 questions to close.
Yeah.
What do you hope for in the next, couple of years?
I think in terms of what I hope for in the next couple of years is uh, uh, to really learn to get out of my own way, you know? Because sometimes it's yourself that's holding you back, sometimes we're always thinking, oh, outside the system, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of the time it's our own internal dialogue, right? And whatever it is that you want to do that you think is too big for you to do, there's always an example of someone that's done it, and they did it.
Yeah. Who is that for you, actually? Because, like, for me, I've just said so many people, but who are your?
I think so many people inspire me. I'm inspired by so many people, and I mean this honestly. Yes, there's the grand examples like your Oprahs or whatever.
Because I really see you as Oprah.
Darling, darling, darling.
I do.
Darling, darling, darling.
I do.
But I'm inspired by anybody who somehow manages to do more than is expected of them. I mean, look at you. You look at your journey to what you're doing. Like, if you were to take a case study, no one would think this little girl could do all this. So for me, that inspires me when I see those examples of oh my God, that's someone that, at least in that moment, got a bit out of their own way. I'm sure you're in your own way in lots of ways.
A lot.
But
A lot.
but actually it is that, so for me it's that, and to the point of, getting out of my own way, I think is really important for the next stuff that I want to be able to do. The things that I've been really doing a lot of study on is the sort of it was called the paternalism era in particularly in British business, where you had these amazing entrepreneurs and industrialists who really made their business a force for good. So people like Cadbury's, Roundtree's,
Right.
and those businesses were built for the social good. So the chocolate was healthy, good chocolate.
Right.
And the company built its local community. It felt responsibility to build its local community. So if you go to Bourneville outside Birmingham, they still have, some of the houses there. And this family built these 2 brothers, their father first, and then the 2 brothers are the ones that really took it to that next level. And they built these houses, they gave jobs, and there was a successful business. But it wasn't just about taking. It was also about the value that you could put out.
Right.
So, for me, I've been really sort of learning about those great industrialists and those great entrepreneurs, and thinking much more, for me, my next chapter is, if for sure, will be business. And it's, how can you ensure that business is affordable and not just to enrich? I mean, hey, we all want money.
We
don't get me
we
wrong.
need that bottom line, yo.
But let's make it mean something.
I'm
And
excited
have
for
fun
it.
in the process.
I'm excited for it. Keep me in mind for whatever you're doing,
Yeah,
whatever you need.
I
I'll fill the role.
Yes.
Just to be in your orbit. I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there. And then the last one, with everything that you know now, what would you say to your younger self?
Oh, I think, what would I say to my younger self? Do not put off looking at what you need to look at.
Ooh, what does that mean?
Doesn't go anywhere. So, we're always doing to avoid the inner work that you have to do. Doesn't go anywhere.
No,
It's
you're
still
right.
there, impacting every area of your life. So really look at the stuff that scares you.
Oh
Yeah.
God, that's hard though.
Yeah, but you have to.
Ooh,
You don't want to take it to your grave.
no.
Yeah, you want to put that stuff down.
That's incredible. Oh, June, I say I'm in awe of you, and I could be here forever. And I love you and
I
adore you.
adore you.
And thank you for
Love
doing
you
this.
right back. And honestly, well done.
Thank you.
So
Thank
good.
you. Can you believe this? Guys, I hope you enjoyed.
Cocktails and conversations.
Yes, I hope you really enjoyed this episode. I absolutely adored it. I mean, like I said, I could speak to her for hours, but she's got things to do. So if you liked this episode, please like, share, and subscribe, comment. We'd love to hear your thoughts on what you thought. This has been Cocktails and Conversations with Deborah Babbio. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.